Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Barkanmu da sake haɗuwa a cikin wani sati na huɗu inda za mu yi nan Khalifa Tech Solutions Limited ƙarƙashin karatun line ɗinmu na HTML. So wannan satin akwai abubuwa da guda biyu da za mu yi magana kan su based on HTML. Abu na farko akwai abin da ake kira layout. So abu na biyu kuma akwai abin da ake kira responsiveness. So abin da ake nufi da layout shine za mu fara maganar shi a nan. So layout kaman wani standard design ne da ake amfani da shi wajen fitowa da actual design ɗin da ya kamata a ce ya fito a cikin website. Kamar misali idan za mu buɗe wannan website ɗin, okay, for instance idan za ku duba nan sama za ku ga wani layi nan haka ko, okay, zuwa sama. This one is what we call header. Ba. So akwai some links on it and then some logo of the website like that. So wannan shi ake kira header of the website. So akwai kuma body here, like all the main content of the website. So if we come down here, you see this black something here is what we call actually call the footer of the website. So that one is like kind of very cool things we can do with HTML. But this class, this layout cannot actually achieve with the use of only HTML. We have to be like writing some CSS code and do it. Okay, so we have different way we can come up with this kind of design, right? With this kind of layout, this header, body, and then the footer. Sometimes we might even have the sidebar here, some side like this where the text is here or the other one is there. That is okay. Now if we go back to our page here, we created a blank HTML week 4 file and we just save it like week 4 as week 4. So if you come to our code here, you will not be able to we didn't see anything, right? We are writing it from scratch. So HTML as usual, then end our HTML here. Okay, then we do our header. So some people might thinking of maybe the header I'm talking about there is just like this header. No, there is a difference between this header and this header that I'm talking about. Okay, let me just prove you that. Okay, when we say this header, this one, we're talking about the browser header. Look at this section here. All right, the website header is here inside the website, so it's not the same thing we're talking about. This one we're talking about where the title will go in, maybe the title come here, then end our title here. And let me see, week 4. Let's say what's week 4? Week 4 layout. Right, week 4 layout. So here we have our body. Then we say body here, body. Then we end our body here. Okay. Now if we end this body here, then inside here is where we are going to define everything. If you like, we can put the footer, no problem. We don't need it for now. So everything will now be inside of our body. So now how can we do? We say we have different way of doing it. We have almost 3 ways of doing it. Number one, we can use the element called div elements throughout, then we give it give it a division to all the content of the element there, right? I will explain this a little bit. Another method is we can also use HTML5. HTML5 has a cool element that we can use as just like article, section, side, aside, and other things like that. With the help of CSS, now achieve the actual what we want to achieve, right? So now let's try the first method with the use of div. Div is is one of the example of double tag element. We say okay, div here, okay, div here, we end our div here, right? So if we specify here, we come into the div here, we can say this one is, let me just give it a big something, h1, all right. Then in our h1 here, we can say okay, this one is the header. This is our header, right, inside of our body. So browser header, right? So if now save this, okay, wait for it to respond now. A moment, okay. Now save this, okay. Now refresh this page here. We can see header. I think this text is like small. Can we increase it a bit? Think let's make it like, yeah, so that you can be able to see very well. Okay, now this is the header, right? So what we mean by div is that maybe you want to have like a kind of a portion inside your screen that will have a particular something like that, or a particular segment of the screen. Okay, that is what we call a div. Now let's say, let me give this one a like kind of background so that you'll be able to see exactly what I'm talking about. If we now give you this style, let's say background color, let me say black, let me say gray here, right? So that you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. So applying div to the page. Okay, I didn't save this. Okay, see now, if you now refresh this page here, you see that we have a separate head. We specify a portion kamar wani bangare ne, misali muka ce to wannan yanki daga nan zuwa nan, we want it just like that. So if we want another one, we can come here and create another one. If you want another one too, we can come here and create another one. Now at this moment, what we need to also do something here. I don't like this style here. I just want to show you that this div is like sakamakon keɓe wani wuri ne a saman screen ɗinka, say okay, I want another space for on the screen. So let's assume that I need also another space from the screen of let me show you what we want to achieve. Yes, let me show you actually what we want to achieve. Let's see, I come to my inside here. Okay, let me insert the shape. Let me take this one. Okay, now if I have this page here, then maybe I make it bigger, like the screen. All right, so let me just make it like this. So now let me see, I don't want to I don't want this this one to appear there. And if I now come here, I see, okay, I want to maybe insert shape. Let me take this one here. I say, okay, from here to here is my side there. Maybe let me okay, I know that can good in design, but I can try. Sure. Okay, let me take another shape here. So this is double major course. Some of you might still learn Microsoft Word inside programming as well. Okay, now this one is our header here. Let me just make it black here. Make this one black too. Make this one, okay, forget about that. Okay, let's see now. I want to have another shape here. So okay, so this space you see here is our sidebar. This space here you see is our navigation, just like the way this website look like that. This one is the header, and then the down one here is where our footer will go, and this is our sidebar. This is the main content of the website. So this is the kind of design we want to actually achieve from our today's class. So now we have specified this one in order to represent this header here, like here, right? So now what we are after is for this small one here and for this two one here. So all we need to do, we can create a div here. We can do a div here. We can see div division and our div here. Then if you end our div here, then we can see maybe the website is like local government website for the state or something like that. So maybe you can see Bagudu here. I can do break here BR. Then I can see let me close that to Bagudu Coco base. Alright, then I can do break here. I can see my Yama. Okay, just like that. So if I now save this one, refresh it here, then I come to save it and refresh. I come to this working place here. We'll be able to see this three local command there. So the next thing we need to do, we need to write like a kind of content to our website like that. So in that case, I can have also a div for that, and then we kind of give it a end my div here. Okay, in this place maybe I'll have a little, maybe 2 paragraphs or 3. Let me see, P here and P here, yes, and then do we pass the content here? But now where can I get the lot of content there? No way, right? Let me just copy this and then replace it. Okay, copy, then I go to my code here inside my paragraph here, then I'll paste this long code here, long script there. All right, maybe if I can copy them twice here, maybe paste them twice. All right, I can paste them like that, right? So if I now refresh this page here, they should be I didn't see, right? Okay, didn't see. Come back, refresh this page, we'll be able to see the whole content. Let's assume we have another paragraph about that, then we can go ahead and we can do that really easy, right? Okay, now let me just copy the entire paragraph here, then and then put them twice. This to show you that this is the main content of the website, right? Okay, this to show you this is the main content of the website. Now if you now refresh this page here, you'll be able to see the three content of the website there. So the last thing we need to do also, for we say this one is for which one is for the content here, and the local government list is within the side here. Then this one is the footer there, right? So what we need to do is coming down here, create another div here, right? Okay, div. Then we come down here and end our maybe div here. So as usual, we already know that the footer doesn't contain much information. It's only about copyright, mini, and other things like that. In that aspect, I will only write Caliphate take solutions limited here, right? If you now save this one, refresh this page here, you'll be able to see the whole content there, right? So now this is just about the layout on the HTML using the tag, div tag there, right? Let me just kind of separate them. It's good practice to be writing a comment, right? Very simple to do, right? If you want to do, remember I told you exclamation mark, this, and then in between here I say, okay, footer, I can write footer content here. Then I can copy this. This is just to give a reader of the code ability to understand the actual what we mean by the code there, right? So I can come down here and then comment this. All right, I can see main content, right? So I can come here, we'll also do this. Now I can see the sidebar content here. I can come here and see maybe the header content there, right? But looking at this code is like now is looking nicer, or Pioneer looking with eyes there. So if you refresh this page, you won't be able to see any changes because we didn't write anything to make any changes there. It's just a comment and other things like that. It's a good practice to be commenting your code. Okay, now is all about to go to CSS and try to be adding some CSS to make your page look good, right? So, but the CSS is like okay, well, let's just write inline page, right? Let me see style here, because there is no problem of writing it like that. And my style here, all right? Okay, if now enter here and see, okay, now the style will be, now the major problem and the issue we are having here is how can we identify each of them so that I can give them, because all of them, we know initially if we are writing CSS, you can call the element tag maybe div or header or p or whatever and give it a style. But now all of them, they are almost having the same kind of tag. How can we do this? So in situation like this, we can have identifier so that we can identify each element. Now, for instance, let's say I want to give this one a name or identifier. We'll call it identifier. Let me say I want to give it a name or ID. Let me say ID is equals to then header, for instance. So So now with the help of this header right here, I can easily come down here and use this header and give it a style. So specifically for this one, now let's assume I want to have, let's say, we can call id with this pound sign there, right? I can say okay, header, then I'll give this one, right? So if I come down here, any style I write here will come here and affect this one because it's the only one that have this id, right? If we put that same id to this one too will have the same style. So now let's try. Let's say, let me try and give it like kind of background color. Let's say background color should be like, let me give it just black. Background color should be black. So if the black text is the text is black and the background color is black, we won't be able to see any text. So let me just show it to you here, right? So refresh this page here. You see nothing, background color is black and everything is black there, so we won't be able to see anything there. So what do we need to do? We need to change the text color to be like white. If the text color is white, then maybe we can say it's okay, like that. Okay, like that. So look at it, it's very nice looking out. Let me say I want to change my text to be the center here. How can I do that? Very simple, just like ABCD. Let's say okay, text that's align. For those of you who watched our videos on week 2, week 3, they don't have problems. All this one we are doing, we have done them, all of them there, right? You can see I want text align to be at the center, right? If you now save this one, you see that the text will now be at the center, right? So cool as that. Okay, now the next thing we can do is, let's say, the width of it here, the length of it from top here to down is that kind of little bit smaller than actual. Let's say, look at this one is bigger than that one, and space between the text here is wider and like that. So we can use that with the help of padding. Padding, we can say give it 5 pixel. Can give it padding of 5 pixel there, no problem, right? So if you come here, refresh this page, we didn't save actually. Let's save it here, then we come back and refresh this page. You see that we have a little padding that is enough for us for this purpose. So now I think we can leave this one for now like that, right? So now let's look at this one now. Let's look at this tag. Or for us to also style that one, we need to have what we call an ID. We need to identify it, since it is among the many ones. So I can see, give it an ID is equals to maybe nav, right? So give it nav ID here. If we come down here, we can call that nav ID with nav like this, then with this sign here in between here we can write all the CSS we want to write. So in this case, sometimes I need like small line height, width to specify the amount. You know what we're seeing here is we don't have much space here for it to like kind of function like that. So if in the case of that case, maybe let me give it line height. What we mean by line height is the space between one line to another, right? Line height, let me give it say 30 pixel here, right? If you give it 30 pixel, then we can also need to maybe put the width so that maybe let me just prove you one thing here before we do anything. Let me just copy this one because I don't like typing always, right? So paste it here. Then maybe you give it a kind of some color, like, let me see, E2, right? Okay, so let me see this color, what it is. Let me give it, okay. Yeah, okay, look at this color now. It's kind of nice looking gray or something, but the major problem is it occupies the entire of our screen. We don't want that. We are after making it what, a very small like this. So this property from here to here is what we call width. So now if we specify a kind of width to it, then it will increase, the width will increase. Okay, we can say, okay, width is equal to, let's say, 100 pixel here. Okay, now if you see this one, we refresh this page here, we see that our width is now small like that. So we also need, like, you see that the way it lies to this side and other thing like that, some padding and other things like that. So we likely to give it a kind of padding up. Let me give it 5 pixel. Okay, now I think it's okay. Now okay, I didn't save it. I think I don't save. Command refresh this page here. Yes, it has in a padding. It's a nice formatted padding. The major challenge here is this, and this text here is our main content. They're supposed to be within this place as we plan, right? They're supposed to be within this section. For instance, let me just, I think they're supposed to be within that section, but the major problem is that this place, you see it here, this place, you see it here, the remaining place here, it's been occupied by this one, right? So we want to make it push to this edge here, so that this one will now be able to join it in this place, right? This is what we call float. Let's push it to the left, float it to the left, so that it lies on this edge completely. So that is what we do now. Let me see. And for us to do that, we write float. Float, we say float to the left. So if you float left, it's okay. Now look at what happened. Now if you refresh this page here, you see our text here is now joining the remaining part, is now available for it to go into, right? So that is it for that. And then we have achieved making it like that. So now, because of the content here is small, let me just duplicate this and then copy this, then paste it here, or maybe paste it again. This one should have this break tag here, BR here, maybe this one should also have break tag here and other things like that. Okay, now if we refresh this page here, we'll be able to see all of this has now become inside of this one, but actually it was not like fully formatted the way we want. You need to have like line spacing, padding, and other things like that. You can add all of them if you wish to do that. So, and this is our footer, is also following them. I don't know why. Okay, well, let's see how we can do that. Okay, and okay, now it's time for us to maybe talk about the content. So how can we style a content? We need to give it like we need to give it an ID for us to identify it from the CSS, and then give it like ID here. I can say content. Okay, content is here. Right? Okay. If you now come back to this content here, I now give it an ID, no dollar sign, this one, I can say content, then I can give this, I now write whatever I want to write. What I'm very interested, what annoyed me in this content here is this padding that is most worried about me, right? So I can see padding, right? Padding, I can give it like, let me just give it 10 pixel, 10 pixel, because I don't like the way it is there, right? So after we do that, then let me just save it, then refresh it, okay. Okay, I think we didn't save it. Cool. We save it, padding 10 pixel, okay. It's okay. Now after padding, we can even add text align, justify. What do you mean by this justify? You already know it when you're using Excel or Microsoft Word there. It will mean the same thing. So if we save it like that, then refresh this page here. You see, it has been justified, created some white space in between there, like, and make it all of the side equal. So now apart from that, we might likely to give it a kind of width. If we like, we can give it a width of, let's say, 400 pixel. Let me give it a width of 400 pixel there, and then think we can leave it like that. Okay, now that is it. Okay, the width is too small for this screen. 400 pixel is small like that. So maybe we can give it like 800. Yeah, so you know, save it. Okay, refresh this page here. It's okay now. It's good now. Now we have achieved our design here, but the only problem we are having is this: our footer is actually not occupying the width we give it to. We want it to come down here, right? So how do we do that? Let me just go to that footer in our code here. Even the footer, we need to give it a kind of tag ID for us to be styling it. All right, let's say ID of this is equals to footer here. Okay. Sorry, but me, I like I don't know what happened to me. If I am speaking English, I will just forget this Hausa. Okay, sorry. Yanzu lokaci ne da za mu yi styling footer ko ba haka ba, domin mu samu mu cimma actual design dinmu, saboda mun ce design dinmu footer will come down, but in our page here the footer is not actually down. It should be is joining the other one there. So the one thing I forgot to do here is, I think we need to float. We need to float it to the left, so that will allow to the left, right there. Okay, now for us to do the footer, we already give it an ID of footer there, right? So we already know the most footer look darker, so therefore the main thing we do is to give it background color of let's say black, make our text to be color, let me see, white text, right? Okay, this is just a kind of dummy something like that. So if you now refresh it, I think you can see it. Yeah, good. Don't worry. look at where our text is, and I don't know, the footer is there, and we say float the content to the left. Okay, let me just leave float in there. Okay, now if I now refresh this one here, did I save? I did not save. Okay, it's now back. It's okay now, but the major problem is that it still doesn't lies from here to here. There is one property we forgot to do, but I can also do it for now. Let's say I want to clear both side of it. I don't want anything to be in any side, or maybe I don't want anything to be like attaching it to at this age and anything at this age. That's what we say clear. So we want to clear both. We clear both here. We give semicolon there. If you now refresh it here, save it here, right? Okay, done. And refresh it here. Cool, we have achieved the actual content we planning to. If you like, you can even add some padding to this footer text and align to be at the center. Text align to be at the center, and also we can make what is it called, add some padding if you like to do that. So we can play around with all the property we're using. Anyone you find interested in your working things, you can, let's say, add it there, 10 pixel if you like. So CSS is kind of good in order to be able to kind of text align center. I didn't work. Why? Text align. Yes, I didn't spell it correct. Line. Yes. Okay. Now, okay. Refresh. Yeah, good. Nice looking layout. So now the challenge, this one will be a link for you, and then you may be like kind of series of links, and here should be a kind of images or other content of the website. This one should also be a link like this ones, like this one, if you wish to do it that way. So now the challenge for you for this class is for you to be able to add, instead of putting just the header here, I want you to add a list of links and let the links be in the same line, just like the way this website links look like. So that's the end of this one. We say this is the method of using div. We also have another method which will come up in the next video, inshallah. And if you have any comment, questions, but let me tell you one thing, the secret about programming is trying it, right? Try it, play around with some value, change some values, and see the behavior. That is what makes you to understand it very well. See you in the next video. Thank you for watching.